Hi, welcome to another typology interview. We have Rasmus. How's it going, Rasmus?
It's going fine. Yes.
Yeah. So I already know your type, sort of. I don't know your modalities yet, but I know your TiNi, sleep, blast, play, consume, last.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe your history in typology before we dive into your functions and stuff.
Yes. So I ran into it for 2 years ago, I think, something. For real, I mean, I made a test back in the days, got INTJ.
INTJ.
Sounded weird to me. Left it, came back like 2 years ago, and then I found it, cognitive functions, and then it's kind of like, oh, nice. This sounds fun.
Right.
Figure out earlier, it was kind of obvious to me directly that I have a TI savior,
Right.
an FE demon. I was on that spectrum, not on the TEFI.
Yeah.
So that was something that was obvious to me first. So I never really been questioning that. And also been obvious to me that I'm NT.
You're NT, yeah.
Yeah, it's also been obvious all the time that I have a TI, then that I'm an NT.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, did you know you were TiNi sort of thing, or
no? Also in the beginning you had like so then it was only TI paired with NE if you looked at the matrix.
Right. Yeah.
Even if you went to socionics, it was the same configurations, right? So you kind of you were stuck in that kind of modality until you run into
OP
and kind of like, oh yeah, maybe it's.
So did you, when you got into OP, when you gave them your type, did you think you were TiNi then? Like, did you give that as your type, or?
I thought I was. So here was the problem. Well, I know I hate control.
Right.
Of course,
Right. Yep. Same here.
Yeah, but then again, I'm savior controlled. But
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I thought I was a double decider. And this is interesting.
Really?
So, I mean, I come to understand it later on, but I never really had that much problems with people. I mean, relationship with people in general. It's been really smooth for me my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, so I never recognize this kind of pain. Oh, the tribe, the this, the that. It's like, what? No.
Wow. Okay. You got lucky.
I always had more fear towards information. But yeah, when I think about it, maybe that's fear against ST consume.
Against the consume, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, because that's something I know actually. As soon as I thought to think about it, yeah, ST consume is something I really fear to get thrown in my face.
So you thought you were TiNe then when you got typed?
TI, I thought NE TI.
NE TI. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
But it makes sense, it took like 5 minutes. Yeah, of course. And when it told me, like, yeah, of course, all my concepts just.
yeah. Right.
It's like,
yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about TI. How do you see TI express itself in your life?
Oh, that one is harder.
Yeah.
And that one is obvious now when I think about it. Yeah. But TI is, I just know what I think. I'm extremely aware of what I think.
Okay.
Basically, it's
do you feel like that's you? Like that is who you are?
Yeah, my thoughts are who I am. I am my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I identify with that.
Yes.
Are you able to quickly identify contradictions?
Yeah. that is something, if something has a logical
flaw, yeah.
Something's logical or flawed, then it's something that in my brain like this start to ping. that I always had. So I it's almost freezing up when I see something is illogical.
Yeah. It's hard not to say anything, or like, is it, yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of get stuck in that. You cannot just let it go and move on. It's like,
right, okay. Is that a masculine TI then?
The TI is masculine, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, same here then.
Cool. I'm movable with FE, yeah.
Yeah. Are you how are you at dealing with contradictions? Like, are you calm usually when the contradictions happen, or do you get stressed if you get into an argument with contradictions and things?
I can say I will probably be very rigid.
Rigid.
Yeah, it's probably a good description of it. I would kind of freeze up in a sense. It kind of stops there. I'm
Right.
not allowing it to, if I'm in a discussion with logical inconsistency shows up, I
Right.
can get stuck there, you know, and not really allowing it to continue until it's resolved.
Right. Are you
Which
also
is
like really good at identifying where the logical problem is in the argument or in?
I kind of see the gap where the logic is not fulfilled.
Right.
But you know, but still have to search to
Search a
find it.
little bit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like in maybe an axiom or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something is not rhyming.
Right. And like
Yeah.
sometimes do you resolve those contradictions like internally and like you see that it's not really a contradiction, but sometimes it triggers you as if it is?
Yeah, it happens, you know, then you have to kind of sleep process it, you know,
Right.
for a while.
Right. To figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, do you feel like you refined your NI in a way when you've gotten?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, then you want everything to connect
Yes.
to the same. You don't want freedom. You want everything to connect to the wholeness.
To the wholeness. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So tell me a little bit about that NI. How do you see it?
I see. So I was thinking about it. I think yesterday.
Right.
So the most commonly, the words that kind of is most descriptive of NI is the same shit, basically, and it's the same thing.
Right.
And these are words I catch myself saying all the time because I constantly want all these things to be the same thing.
To say,
So basically, when I say basically, is we just want to cut something down to one chord. So I use the word basically all the time, and I use it's the same thing.
Do you see everything as it is the same thing? Like, is that the way you see everything?
It's like a, you know, it's like a mental disease. You know, I have a hard time allowing things to be unique and separate.
Right.
I cannot allow. I mean, I cannot like no. It must be the same. It must have one.
It must fit into the unity. Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And, it's stupid. My friends are usually poking me with like, Rasmus, you don't see the nuances. No, there are no nuances.
Right.
No, but yeah, it's kind of.
So do you feel like you disrespect the sensory or the consume at least?
I can observe myself do it.
Yeah. How do you disrespect your sensory?
Because I undervalue, like, disrespect the uniqueness of the sensory.
Uniqueness of sensory.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't really believe in the uniqueness. Separate uniqueness. It's everything connects, and I think everything comes from the same core. Therefore, even though they might have a different color, they come from exactly the same thing. Ergo, that's the man.
All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get you a little bit in trouble here with your girlfriend. So you have a girlfriend.
Yes.
And is she unique?
For me.
For you, or in general?
She triggers me in a lot of positive ways.
Right.
Yes.
Do you see her linking to the female population in general? Like, is it all one, or do you see that there is a unique individual there?
Depending on what you mean. I mean, she basically has a personality. Ergo, she is she's unique if you have a low data amount of data, right? Then people are going to be unique directly. But the more you expand the data, obviously the uniqueness disappears because the patterns.
Really? See, okay, so like this is something. So you're saying, like, usually this is the problem with NI. They don't have enough sensory. Okay, and so because they disrespect the sensory, they don't gather enough data, and so they automatically jump to the patterns. They jump, okay, everything's the same. But you're saying the opposite. You're saying the more data I gather, the more sensory I gather, the more I'll see that it's really all the same.
Yeah, so Well, I know SE, you know.
Right. So actually,
Uh,
I feel the same. I feel the same way, that like that everything is the same,
mm,
and in order to refine it down to that, I think it's not only gathering data, it's also sleeping on it and finding the connections. Yeah. So like, tell us a little bit about that sleep process. How do you find those connections, and how do you bring all the things into a single unity? Or is that
so
what happens in your sleep or not?
so the sleep is so I have a high tendency to zone out.
Yeah.
I do that all the time,
Right.
almost.
What?
As long as I'm not talking to people directly, and sometimes even when I'm talking to people directly, I can just space off.
Yeah.
And usually when I space out, I think about I basically just go over the concepts again all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a anti-rational reprocessing thing
Right. And
that I
so
keep doing. Yeah.
what's the goal of sleep then? Like when can you stop sleeping on something?
Um, when I feel that it's whole.
When you feel
That which I'm processing is whole.
it's whole. Okay. All right. Yeah. Um, and sometimes when you're processing it, do you get stuck on making it whole? Do you say, okay, I can't keep processing this. I can't figure it out yet.
You know, sometimes you can. I mean, life goes on outside of your own
Right.
brain, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes life feeds you something else to
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. Right.
So you have to put something on the shelf.
But like, I'm thinking like sometimes do you feel responsible to like sit and process, like, and designate time to that?
I want.
You
Yeah,
want
and
to?
I do it
Yeah.
all the time as well.
Yeah. You
That's
enjoy
my
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
um, so
It's like a prison, I think. I mean, it's
yeah.
like the Stockholm syndrome, right? I dig myself into my bubble. I really enjoy it there, but it's like a prison as well. So you don't really feel you're not connecting to the rest of the world outside the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
Uh,
Um, when you're like, this is something that happens to me when I'm sleeping. So I'll be processing something, and then I'll see that I'm missing something, like a critical piece in order to solve the puzzle. And then I'll go out and get that piece. I'll try to figure out how to get that piece. Do you get the same thing? Like, do you need to do that too?
um, yeah, but I don't go out, and I just start guessing what that
You
piece should
start
be.
guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, do you feel like you've solved the puzzle if you've guessed and it works, or do you still need to confirm it once you've solved it?
Yeah. So yeah, I usually when I built up my own theory,
Right.
I usually pings the tribe a little bit on it and hope
Right.
that it rhymes from their point of view as well.
So you do try to confirm it. And is that an I masculine or feminine, by the way?
So that's what they were. They guessed feminine. Oh, they asked feminine. Guessed feminine S. So they basically masculine and I. They
So
guessed.
double masculine sleep. Okay.
Yeah, but they were not that one. They couldn't really prove in the same sense.
Right. What about you? Do you feel that it's that like that, or?
You know, I rely mostly on my hearing.
Right.
And you know, I have this kind of blank head. I have a hard time getting images in the head. So
Right.
I mean, it doesn't really fit that well into the whole visual.
Right. Yeah.
I have a hard time with that, or I'm not really connected that well to that. But then again, I'm also kind of compared to I think my girlfriend is ISTP as well.
Okay.
TiSE, consume, play, blast. I think missing
Okay.
sleep. And I had a point here. Actually, but where was I? Where I forgot where.
Yeah. Masculine, feminine. We were talking about your.
Yeah, exactly. So even though she has demon and she is so much more strict on planning. Even though she's from a demon state, you know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
So
Do you plan? Do you enjoy planning? Do you see the future? Do
I
you do
just
that?
have some vague
Yeah.
future dots where I'm
Right.
gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't really like this. I just generally dislike keeping a hard schedule.
Uh-huh. Um, what if you like make a schedule? Like you make a plan. You tell someone you're going to be somewhere at a certain time. Will you make it on time? Will you cancel? Will you?
Usually you cannot have these few deadlines that you go to, right? But everything that leads up to the deadlines is negotiable.
It's negotiable, but like the deadline is hard for you. You need to get there. You need to do it.
Well, the deadlines, yeah, usually, yeah.
Yeah. You feel responsible to.
Yeah.
And changing plans, is that okay for you? It's difficult.
No, it's kind of easy. I don't like it. I like to have it kind of movability or floatable, so to speak.
Right.
But when the deadline comes, or well, the deadline in a sense, it's not strictly talking about a specific time usually, but more the product. I mean, if the deadline moves, whatever, right? But there is the product basically of this deadline is what you're striving for, I guess.
Okay. So, okay, I have a question about like your concepts. So like, let's say you have a concept that you've built, you've constructed, you've figured it out, and then it doesn't work or it doesn't match reality. How hard is it for you to go back and refine that concept?
Oh, that is energy. Then if I had to refine it, let's say that I think I closed the chapter, and it turns out it wasn't closed, right? Yeah, it takes more time, but sometimes it's depending on how you solve it. The part when you go on sleep processing it, this is you have to spend much more time there. But usually when you have sleep process something, usually what you're lacking is to consume, from my perspective.
From your perspective, because you have consume last, yeah.
Yeah, when I do the consume, which I've seen in my work basically, because I have to consume a lot of articles. Then when you actually do the reconsume on the articles, so it kind of a wave of everything fits in perfectly.
Okay. It usually fits into the concept you've already constructed, and if it doesn't fit in, then do you refine the concept?
Yeah. You get meat on the bones, so to speak. You kind of have you have guessing of how it should be, but you don't have the meat yet.
Right.
But then when the consume comes in the end, right, when you actually fuck it and need to consume, right. then everything just fills in usually, because it was the day it was missing.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your blast. Are you comfortable blasting?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're also teaching, so like, is that easy for you to talk and stuff?
Yeah. There's no worries.
No worries at all?
No, I can talk. I have a processed information which is released for me to share.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What about that FE then? Are you aware of your FE? Do you get information from it? Do you use it to process? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that also when I thought I was a double decider before.
Right.
Because I'm not
double
really
activated.
Yeah, exactly. FE is double activated, and so I not really fear the tribe in the sense, and I kind of it's also not that not obvious. I mean, it's harder to it requires a lot of attention from me in contrast to try to keep the atmosphere positive, right? But I do it as well.
And you zone out. So yeah.
Sometimes you zone out, but you're trying to.
If things get heightened, if like there's conflict and people are getting upset around you, how do you deal with that?
Okay, then I don't feel that it's not my responsibility to make everyone happy.
No, it's not.
And I really tend to go to bubble for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you let people argue. You don't try to step in. You don't.
Yeah, you mean a real conflict, basically. Yeah, then it's harder for me stepping. I might do it, but it's.
Yeah. What happens if it's like at your house or in your classroom or something? Would you feel more responsible to step in?
Yeah, if it's on me, then you have to step in, right?
Right.
But if it's like it's not something that's not really concern me, but is in my environment, then it's even harder. Then I don't feel the responsibility at all to step in.
Right. Do you have a general understanding of people? Like, do you feel like you understand people well?
I do feel that, but do I do that?
Right.
You know, yeah, it's yeah, that's something I'm always trying to figure out, I guess.
Okay. Like
Yeah,
you're trying to figure people out?
yeah. It's not really people, not specific people. I never go around focusing on specific people.
Right.
So it's not like oh, this person specifically, oh, Jonas. No, it's just people in general.
In general. Okay. So like when you're teaching or something and you see people falling asleep, I don't know if you put people to sleep or not, but like, do you get the vibe of the room?
I mean, you see if the attention, that's kind of obvious also when you're standing in front of people. You see if the attention is directed towards you, or
You're
if
aware of
it's,
that?
yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you also, I mean, you also see, you can see when people are usually, when they want to ask questions, you see this kind of need for ask questions, which is usually, it's a very positive thing because then you see that also that they are listening, right?
Right. And that's play there too, allowing them to ask questions. Do you see that play is high in your stack too? Like, do you see a play as a hobby? Does it express itself somehow in your life?
I don't know. I like to do things for, you know, yeah, you know, I like hanging out with people.
Yeah.
I'm a social being.
Are you energy dominant? Are you always aware of what your energy levels are and how you're expending energy and trying to become more efficient at all times? Yeah.
Yeah, I always know my energy levels. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a really general theme in your life?
Well, if you would take, I mean, over a whole day, right, then I would know if I'm tired or my energy levels of the whole day. If you'd ask me.
Do you sleep a lot? Do you need to sleep a lot? Is it hard to wake up? Do you?
No, I sleep. I can't sleep kind of strict hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What about?
I kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a big like going up and down that much. It's kind of I have my routine basically.
Right.
When it comes to sleeping.
So have you ever had tidal waves in the past from the tribe?
Yeah, I was bullied for 2-3 years when I was like 11, 10.
Right.
Something.
And that's it, or there's more?
Yeah, no, but then you kind of you kind of move towards the other nerds basically, and that's all that.
Right.
You know, but then you try to impress people that weren't interested in being impressed by you, basically. I mean, and of course you kind of sort of that's future. That's just a pointless game to play. So you kind of slowly went towards where you had people which had interest, and that was more interesting. Right. I don't know. You're TI dominant as well. I guess you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the chaos? Does chaos bother you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a big demon?
Yeah, I actually feel more like SE is a demon than FE.
Okay.
But I don't think I process SE or missing information as much as I process people. And I think I do compare myself much more to people.
Right.
I do this comparison game.
Okay. But like, do you freak out? Do you get really upset when there's chaos in your life?
Yeah, when machine breaks down, and you kind of that's actually, if I would track my time every time I get upset, it's like 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10 times it's stuff that pisses me off.
Malfunctioning.
Yeah, malfunctioning, something breaks, something,
right.
You know, or emails when people, the emails just come in, you know, it's kind of spam info. You know, that email system pisses me off a lot.
Right.
Which would be like something, so probably an INFJ or NTJ would complain about, I guess. And that's also why I kind of feel I can understand having SC as a demon.
Yeah.
in contrast to FE, but then again, I play the people game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your consume. Do you feel like you're at a very big disadvantage with consume? Do you feel like you're not consuming a lot all day?
Yeah, that requires a lot of energy just to do it,
Yeah.
and I just trying to kind of like push it forward.
Do you feel like information sometimes is painful? Like you don't want it to let it in? It's
so yeah, I hate searching for the information.
searching, okay. But like
yeah.
Like, do you feel like you're already full of information? You already have enough to process at all times, and you don't really need more to come in, and it's actually painful to actually have more because it overloads you, or no?
No. It is it's like you know exactly what information you're searching for usually. You know, I want
what
that
you're searching for.
Yeah, but then it's kind of like this finding a needle, you know, in a hay.
Right. So how do you know what you're searching for? How do you know what piece of information you need?
That you just know.
You just know.
Yeah.
From your sleep? Did your sleep tell you? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I know kind of the gap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. Like, that's what I've always said in like my past interviews. That's exactly how I feel as well for searching for information. It's like you have this whole puzzle and you've got this piece missing, and you know the shape of the piece, and you got to go out and search for it. Yeah.
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 You know where it's supposed to fit in the puzzle.
It looks like this. Let's go find it. Yeah.
It's like a puzzle piece, right? To search your fit there.
You can see the negative space. You can see the hole it needs to fill.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But it's annoying to go out and search through all these kind of trash bins, basically, feels like, to search for the information.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But you know what it looks like when you find it.
Yeah. And sometimes do you just not find it and you're like, okay, well.
No, that pisses me off.
Yeah, piss you off. Okay. Like, okay, so let's say you're in university, right? You've got this new course that you're supposed to learn. Is it difficult for you to go through all the material and learn it?
Yeah. It's not extreme.
It's not extreme.
I'm teaching courses to which I've already taken myself back in the days. So it's about to remember the concepts.
Yeah.
And,
do you feel like if you learn too much new stuff, you'll start forgetting some old stuff?
Yeah, I just have a hard time taking it off. I mean, this tidal wave of new information is bone breaking.
Bone breaking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Cool, man.
And also can get annoyed by if it's too much numbers. It feels like pointless numbers are thrown in my face.
Too many facts. Yeah. Too much. Yeah. Useless information. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. My wife really likes telling me about this person that I don't know and their name and their baby and their all this stuff. It's like, I don't. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, if it's not relevant to the situation at hand, if it's just extraneous information, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Do you have anything that you want to say about your type a little bit, or that maybe we glossed over?
I would say TiNi is not a beautiful function, but people have figured that out already, I guess. Ni is not a beautiful function. Usually,
beautiful.
No, it's not beautiful.
No?
It's like the opposite.
It's the opposite of beautiful.
It's trying to kill the beauty and go down to the what is real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It's a kind of.
That's interesting because for me, it's like another level of beauty. I think unity itself is beautiful. And
the functioning together can create something.
Yeah. Right? It's like several levels of beauty, and each one just adds. I think Ni just adds to the beauty rather than gets rid of it. But like this is, I don't know.
I think it kind of cuts the color, but creating the substance in a sense.
Cuts the color by creating.
Yeah, these kind of variations, the uniqueness, but it brings the substance. I think. But more than that. TI, I mean, I guess TI is so well, I think this whole version of ISTP, which I am,
Right.
it's a weird version because I don't know, I have a low. It's like Gretchen that was on yesterday, right? Did you see that one?
Gretchen?
They
Oh,
had this. Then it's like the one who typed latest.
okay, in the class.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Okay. She's basically my type, but she's an INTP, so it would
Right.
TISI.
TISI.
Then
Yeah. So actually, Andreas is very similar to your type. He's double masculine and he's TISI.
mm,
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to promote? A blog, a YouTube channel?
nope.
No. Are you a
I don't.
creative person? Do you like to create things? Do you art, stuff like that?
I drew a lot when I was a kid, then. So,
Yeah.
but I've done a lot of things in episodes. But when it's kind of when it gets into something new, but then you see that okay, when you see like I learned how to play the guitar
Right.
like 2 years ago.
Right.
I was decided to make a Christmas calendar for my girlfriend.
Okay.
So when I was playing a Christmas carol for each day from 1st to 24th.
Okay.
So I was supposed to learn the guitar, then kind of after that you cannot try to keep it up, But then you kind of see, okay, so the trajectory to getting further with the guitar is to start to grind the chords, or not, sorry, the scales, basically.
Yeah, you got to practice. Yeah.
When you come to that realization, okay, the logical process to go from here to here is to start grinding this. Then we kind of. Then I'd rather do something new.
You run out of energy to practice the same thing, which is weird because, like, as an organizer, you would want to keep processing the same thing, but no.
Yeah, but it's more of the physical repetition, I guess.
Physical repetition, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man.
Yeah.
Do you go through phases of things that you're interested in?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
For periods, I don't do the same thing for 15 years.
Right. Cool, man. Well, thank you very much, Ramses, for coming out. Rasmus, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Thanks, Rasmus, for coming out. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, have a good one, man.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great talking to you.
Yes, the same.